Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ronke and I love to create content on travel, career, and positive living. In today's video, I wanted to talk about friends. Friends and friendship is something that I think as we get older becomes a little trickier, right? There are some people who are really fortunate that they've had some friendships from literally like babyhood or childhood that they have grown up with. And there are some people that kind of have friends from that era, maybe have friends from high school, friends from college, friends from work, friends from all these different areas. Now, in this video, I really wanted to get into the idea of like making friends as you get older, because it is something that's a bit challenging to do. And it's interesting. I think when you're younger, you make friends off of like what seems to be the most silliest things, but those relationships may really stand the test of time, but for some reason as you get older it becomes a little bit harder to make friends. So in today's video I wanted to share some tips on how to make friends. Before we really get into things, I do want to just emphasize that it really is important that you are able to make friends. You don't have to have 100 friends. You don't have to go about with the goal of making a new friend every day, but it is important to overall have friends and be able to make friends. In the Bible, in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, it says that he who wants friends must first be friendly. Meaning that if you want to have friends, you also have to be a friendly person so people can be friends with you, right? Even with that verse for me, I just feel that as we get older, it becomes important that you make quality friends. You want to be able to have people that you can rely on, people that you can trust, people that you can turn to when you need it. No man is an island, so you're not necessarily meant to live life alone and go through life by yourself. So it is important to have friends or an inner circle that you can depend on. As an introvert, I'm not going to be the person running around with 20, 30, 40 friends. I don't have a huge circle, but I have a circle and I appreciate the circle that I do have. So for me, even having quality friends is all the more important than having a large quantity of friends. As we get older, I think there are a variety of different reasons why people find it hardest to make friends. I think for one, we tend to get set in our ways. Meaning that you're a little bit less flexible. I think people are also a little bit more selective, so there are some traits that you might not want in friends that you might not have cared about when you were younger. Additionally, I think for most people at this point, you probably would have some sort of core group of friends, and so when you already kind of have your core group, you're not necessarily yearning to go and make a whole lot of other friends. And then finally, I do think overall you find fewer avenues to make friends. So it's not as easy to make friends because you don't have as many opportunities to make friends. So I'm about to share some tips on how to make friends. Number one, life circumstances. When I was in high school, I made friends with people because we were in the same grade, because we had the same classes, because we might be from the same ethnic background. And so I feel like a lot of times when you think about how you make friends and maybe making it easy for yourself, looking at people who you have shared life experiences with usually is a really great way to make friends. And so if this is, let's say you're at work, you just started out of college, this is a good opportunity to find someone else at work who might have recently also started out of college that you can get along with, because you might be at the same level in life in terms of, hey, we both just graduated, we're both trying to navigate first job or whatever it is. Having shared life experiences is a great way to make friends because you do have things to talk about. You have things to relate to one another on. Another example might be if you are moving to a new neighborhood and let's say that you have a pet and maybe you have a dog, for example, and there's a doggy park nearby and you see the same group of people all the time also walking their dogs at the same time. That might be a group of people that you can relate with. Similarly, let's say that you're a new parent, and a few other new parents, or you have someone who might have taken like the same Lamaze class or something as you. That's an opportunity for you to also make friends with those individuals because you do have a shared life experience. The second tip I would give is to actually be friendly with your friends' friends. It's really weird sometimes, but I feel like some people don't like introducing their friends to their other friends. Like if you have friend A that doesn't know friend B, some people like to keep friend A and friend B separate. And that's fine. But if you're friend A, and let's say you have a friend who introduces you to their friend B, being friendly to the other friend is a good way for you to also make friends, right? Because that's going through the circle of someone that you already have as a friend and getting to meet their friends. My third suggestion is to obviously seek social events. And so this might be something like a cookout or maybe a networking or a happy hour, some sort of social event. because these are billed as social events, people generally do come with the intent to socialize and to be friendly. So it can also be a great way for you to meet someone. Another option that you have is to pick up a new hobby. And so this kind of goes back to the shared life experiences, but if you find a rowing club, for example, you might see people there continuously, and then that's a good way for you to then find a common interest, which would be the hobby, and make friendship over that. And so, like I said, it could be a rowing club. Maybe it's the people you see at like a sip and paint if you go to one every so often. But just finding something that you can be consistent in, that you want to grow in, it can really be a good way to meet other people who are actively already doing that thing. Finally, the last suggestion I have is to actually try some apps out. So there are some apps, there are some apps that you can use to get to meet people. Now, I'm not talking necessarily from the romantic perspective, slow down. But there are some apps that you can use to also make friends. Personally, I'm just going to say this one is really to your discretion. So just if you are going to use an app, of course, use it wisely. You know, make sure that if you're meeting up with anybody from an app, you're doing it in a safe way. However, these apps do exist to also support you. Whether you're new to a city or whether you're looking to expand your friendship circle, I hope the tips that I've laid out are helpful. As always, please make sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel for more travel, career, and positive living content. See you next time.